What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Hop Butcher for the World, and they're out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is their Almost Magical in Symmetry. So this is a Mosaic Idaho 7 Sabro Strata Mosaic Hyperboost and a wet Chinook-Hopped IPA that comes in at 6.75% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. This can is approximately 5.5 weeks old. So we got another drop here locally in the Western New York area. I think it was like 4 different Hop Butcher beers. So I picked up this and their Phantom Ripper, which is a West Coast IPA. I'm starting with this because it's a little bit older, but I'm super stoked about this one because of one reason only, and that's Sabro hops being in here. Now, post in the comment section if you've experienced something different than I have, but feel like Sabro hops have been, very popular. They were very popular in like the late 2010s, early 2020s. And then it just kind of went away. There was so many beers coming out. I remember like 2020, 2021 with Sabro. I love coconut. It's like a hop that produces really coconut flavors. And then I barely see it. And when I do, it's like a mishmash of hops and it's included. I don't know if it's because a lot of people don't like coconut, so a lot of breweries don't brew with it, but I am always stoked when I see a Sabro hop beer. However, I will say that this having wet hop Chinook hops, or they say wet Chinook hops, I feel it's a missed opportunity for Hop Butcher to do like their own fresh/wet hop beer that is only that hop and not a bunch of other hops. I would have loved to see a wet hop beer, wet hopped IPA specifically from Hop Butcher. Missed opportunity, or I don't know what I'm talking about. Probably the latter. Anyway, we're going to crack this one open. It does have tasting notes on the back. I will not read them till the end, where I'll probably promptly forget them and then have to post them in the description box. But doesn't matter, not really. They're just tasting notes from Hop Butcher. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It doesn't matter. Let's give a pour into the hashtag proper glassware. Oh, this is hazy. For some reason, I didn't expect it to be, that was going to be like a West Coast IPA or like a wet hop beer. Okay, it's hazy. I did see on Untapped, a very good friend of mine, fellow beer tuber, Dan, over at FLX Beer Reviews. He did tag our other buddy, Mark Gardner, Mark G, and said, hey, basically get your hands on this one because it has Sabro in it. And yeah, I know he likes it just as much as I do. So I think Dan gave this like a 4.25, something like that. But yeah, I didn't really see too much what he said. Didn't know I was going to pick it up, but I did. In the hashtag proper glassware, it looks absolutely fantastic. That's how this beer should look. Except for it shouldn't. I thought it was going to be clear. Anyway, hazy, milky, that honey orange color. 3 fingers of this super creamy colored head. There's some bigger bubbles, some smaller bubbles. It almost looks like a nitro head, or when you get a heavily fruited sour and it starts leaving the pectin on the side and just starts dissipating. Kind of looks like that. Show you from the back here. Yeah, I mean, that's a nice looking hazy 6.75% IPA. Anyway, let's get a nose. And the head is, like I said, like an off-white, creamy looking kind of marshmallow-esque head. Whew. I'm not getting a ton of coconut, but what I am getting is like huge pineapple, like crushed pineapple. There's so many different kinds of pineapple. There's crushed, there's diced, there's fresh. For me, I always go with the crushed pineapple, the Dole crushed pineapple. That's what this is. Dole crushed pineapple to a T. Some nice peach, mango, some lychee, some red berry. Oh, definite red berry. Yeah, like a fresh like raspberry or strawberry. And now I'm getting this big, like, dank herbaceous kind of like slight hop burny thing going on. It's 5.5 weeks old. Shouldn't be any hop burn. I've had hop burn from Hop Butcher beers that are like 6, 7, 8 weeks old before. And there's this nice, like, slight touch of like a fresh coconut. Not toasted, but fresh. 6.7%. This is an incredible nose. I'm trying to forget. This is sub 7%. It's super bombastic. Shout out to Paul over at PA Brutus. A little bit of like a mixed like citrus juice, like an orange and grapefruit juice hybrid. I'm starting to get, and I always got to think, like I started thinking in my mind, like Hop Butcher, what kind of tasting notes would they put on the back? They've done this before, but I'm getting pink lemonade. Yeah, I'm getting pink lemonade. Dude, this smells wild for sub 7%. This is top tier. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Cha-ching. Coconut. I fucking love Sabro. Sabro. I don't give a shit how you say it. I love it. It has such a beautiful fresh coconut. It's just fucking delicious. Holy balls. Body and mouthfeel are exactly what Hop Butcher does. I will say the body isn't thin for a 6.75% beer, but the look of it, how it poured out, it's like a medium touch over medium. Totally appropriate. But a lot of times these 7-esque% beers from Hop Butcher might be like, you know, higher side of medium, lower side of full, maybe even medium full. This is like straight up medium touch over. It's perfect for what it is, but I thought it was going to be a little bit thicker. The mouthfeel is incredibly soft. This is like mild to moderately carbonated, like smack dab in the middle, so it's softer. Super smooth, incredibly creamy, fantastic mouthfeel. Better than the body. Body's still pretty good for what it is. Taste is that mixed citrus juice up front. It's orange juice, grapefruit juice. It's a hybrid. If you see like, you know, Ocean Spray or, you know, whatever, you know, different company or brand, but it has like an orange juice and grapefruit juice hybrid. Then I get a little bit of stone fruit, peach, mango, papaya, a little bit of apricot, very slight, like you just say generic stone fruit. Then halfway through the palate, I get a nice red berry, more in like the raspberry realm, like an over-ripened raspberry. There's a little bit of that pink lemonade I was talking about too. Definitely has a pink lemonade. Someone who has been pounding out some Crystal Light, like different lemonades. They have like a raspberry one, a pink lemonade. I think they have a strawberry one. It's kind of in that realm where it's like Crystal Light, like pink lemonade to me. That's kind of what it is, which is fine because I love it. It's kind of interesting to have it in a, you know, in a beer like this. But then, halfway through, 2/3 of the way through the palate, to me it's crushed pineapple, and then it finishes with this nice fresh coconut flavor. It starts to peter out into this beautiful, like dank herbaceous finish. There is no hopper. In the nose, I was like, oh, it might be a little hopper. No, it's dank, it's herbaceous, maybe even a little bit of earthiness to it. This finishes semi to full-on dry with a mild to moderate bitterness. This leans a little bit sweeter at 6.75%, which is, you know, I would like to see a little bit more balance here. I'd like to see it like 50-50. Right now it's like 60-40 sweetness to dryness with a little bit of bitterness mixed in. But listen, I love coconut. This is a very complex sub 7% beer. This is fucking phenomenal. Pour the rest in here just to see. Yeah, there's some chunks and shit hanging out. This is a tasty beer. This is fucking Hop Butcher, man. If I lived in Chicago and I could just get whatever whenever they release it, it would always be in my fridge. As is, I try to, like, you know, buy, when their beer shows up, I at least buy a couple cans and review them, right? If I drank like I used to prior to my open heart surgery back in 2021, anytime Hop Butcher showed up, I buy like a 4-pack of all their stuff just to support them, but also just to drink the deliciousness that is Hop Butcher. As is, I always try to buy at least a couple cans of stuff that shows up and support them in that way. They have supported the channel since 2020, so it's cool as hell. Jeremiah, shout out to you, man. Great dude. Doesn't probably watch any of the reviews anymore from anybody. I mean, they're big time now, okay? They don't need to rely on anybody on BeerTube and their stupid fucking palate to tell them what they already know. They make delicious beer. But I still, their beer's fucking delicious. And for a sub 7% beer, this is divine. 6.75%, you can't tell, but if I was doing this blind, I think this is like 8.5% because the flavors are fucking insane. We'll do a rating and then I'll read the tasting notes, but almost magical in symmetry. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a low 4.5. I'm gonna go 4.45. This is awesome. A little bit more Sabro, a little better body. And by better body, I mean just like kind of what this beer looks like and what I think it should be. This is like a high 4.5 and a low 4.75. Regardless, it's fucking phenomenal. It's a great beer. It's Hop Butcher. There's nothing else to say about it. Awesome artwork by Mr. Dan Jessa. But yeah, anyway, let's do tasting notes. Fresh berry. Yeah, I said, if it said fresh red berry or just red berry or mixed berries, yeah, I'm happy with that. Diced pineapple. I did say diced pineapple, but I went with crushed pineapple because I will never like say specifically diced pineapple. It's always crushed pineapple, but I guess crushed pineapple kind of not that far off. Yeah, I'm going to give myself credit for that one. And then watermelon lemonade. What did I say? I said pink lemonade. There's no watermelon in this fucking beer. I don't know. What is given the watermelon? Did they say in Strata or maybe the Hyperboost? The wet Chinook-Hopped, I feel like that Chinook-Hopped, I didn't really get a spiciness. I usually get a spiciness from Chinook. I do think that big, like, herbaceous dankness on the finish is really where the Chinook is shining. Like, it comes in big. So I could see that. But, yeah, I'd say I give myself, like, 2 out of 3. I said red berry instead of fresh berry. I said crushed pineapple instead of diced pineapple. And I said pink lemonade instead of watered lemonade. I'm going to say 2 out of 3. Pretty happy. Price point availability, I don't know what you pay in the Chicago area. Probably like $16 a 4-pack. Here in New York State, you're paying more like, $22 to $24 for a pack. I think it's like $22 for a pack. Single can's like $6. I'm fine with that. No qualms. And then availability is Hop Butcher. Chicago, sometimes get on Tavor. They sometimes get drops in and around different cities and states and whatnot. Here in Western New York, we've been getting their stuff for years now. Usually every like couple months, 4 or 5 beers show up, and that's what happened this time around, and I picked them up. So, yeah, if you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. I think it's fucking delicious. A little bit more coconut from the Sabro. I'm into it, but like I can't fault them. Sabro is the third hop listed, and it's not like a Sabro, just a Sabro hop beer. But I would like to see a little more of that Chinook influence, but is the last hop listed. I would have loved to just see like a fresh / wet hop beer from Hop Butcher. I'm sure it would have been awesome. But I give this a 4.45. I can't really argue that this is a delicious beer. So the other one I had, like I said, is Phantom Ripper. It's a West Coast IPA, probably in the new school realm. I can't wait to get in that one. A little bit fresher than this one. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to shut this one down. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here in the Beer Patrol. Like I said, if you had this one before, comment section. Love to hear from you. To the next one. Cheers. I did say 6.75%. Can't tell, but if I was doing this blind, I would guess like 8.5%. It's that bombastic. Cheers.